Have you ever felt that the world is moving so fast, with advancements in technology, communication, and global interconnectedness, that certain ways of life, certain individuals might be left behind, isolated in their own quiet corners of existence? We live in an era defined by unprecedented connectivity, where information travels at the speed of light, and the most extraordinary innovations are unveiled almost daily. Yet, despite this hyper-connected landscape, a profound sense of isolation can persist, particularly for those whose lives are tethered to traditional rhythms, far removed from the bustling hubs of technological progress. It's a fascinating paradox. The more connected we become digitally, the more pronounced the feeling of being unseen or even forgotten can be for those who don't fit neatly into the mold of the modern, fast-paced world. This raises a compelling question about the true nature of progress and whether its ultimate aim is merely to push boundaries, or if it also holds the capacity to bridge the very divides it sometimes inadvertently creates. Consider for a moment the stark contrast between the lives of, say, a visionary tech entrepreneur whose days are filled with groundbreaking ideas, global ventures, and the constant hum of innovation, and a rancher whose existence is dictated by the ancient rhythms of the land, the welfare of livestock, and the vast silent expanse of the wilderness. These two worlds, though coexisting on the same planet, often appear to operate on entirely different planes, with distinct values, challenges, and aspirations. The narrative we often construct around progress tends to highlight this separation, presenting technology as a force that either displaces old ways or exists in a parallel universe, largely irrelevant to the enduring traditions that anchor communities. But what if this perception is incomplete? What if, against all odds, these two seemingly disparate worlds could not only intersect, but profoundly influence each other, revealing a deeper truth about shared human experience? This exploration begins by challenging our assumptions about where innovation truly resides and who benefits from its advancements. We often associate cutting-edge technology with urban centers, research labs, or the exclusive domain of the wealthy and influential. Yet, the story we are about to delve into suggests that the most impactful forms of progress might sometimes emerge from the least expected places, driven by motivations far more profound than mere profit or prestige. It proposes that the future isn't just about what we build, but about how we connect, how we perceive value in diverse forms of life, and how we extend the reach of human empathy across seemingly insurmountable divides. This isn't merely a tale of technological transfer. It's a narrative that probes the very essence of human connection, the power of unexpected kindness, and the transformative potential of feeling genuinely seen. The challenge lies in understanding how such a bridge can be forged, not through grand policy or economic imperatives, but through a singular, unexpected act that transcends the boundaries of wealth, fame, and geography. It forces us to reconsider the definition of progress itself. Is it solely about faster machines and smarter algorithms, or does it also encompass the capacity to uplift, to acknowledge, and to integrate those who might otherwise feel overlooked? The intersection of these worlds, the hypermodern and the traditional, why rooted serves as a powerful metaphor for the broader human quest for meaning and connection in an increasingly complex and segmented society. It invites us to look beyond the superficial differences and into the shared vulnerabilities and aspirations that bind us all, regardless of our station or location. This journey will unravel the layers of this extraordinary encounter, examining not just the immediate impact, but also the ripple effects on personal identity, community perception, and the broader dialogue between tradition and innovation. We will explore how a single gesture can shatter preconceived notions, ignite a sense of belonging, and redefine an individual's place in the world. It's a testament to the idea that sometimes the most revolutionary advancements are found in labs or boardrooms, but in the quiet, transformative power of being genuinely seen. The narrative asks us to consider if true progress lies not just in what we build, but in how we connect, how we see each other, and how we choose to bridge the gaps that often seem insurmountable, revealing the profound impact of empathy in an increasingly complex world. This remarkable intersection of lives, seemingly from different centuries, poses a fundamental question: what happens when the future, embodied by its most audacious proponents, unexpectedly arrives on the doorstep of the past, not as a hostile takeover, but as an act of unexpected recognition and profound kindness? To fully appreciate the significance of such an unlikely convergence, we must first understand the historical context that has shaped our perception of technology's role in society. For centuries, innovation has been viewed as a force that primarily drives efficiency, economic growth, and military advantage. From the Industrial Revolution, which mechanized labor and drew populations into urban centers, to the digital age, which has globalized information and automated countless tasks, the narrative has largely been one of relentless forward momentum, often at the expense of older traditions or less efficient ways of life. This historical trajectory has created a cultural divide, where technology is often seen as an external force, either benevolent or disruptive, but rarely as an intrinsic part of preserving traditional values or fostering human connection in a deeply personal way. The rise of Silicon Valley and its titans only solidified this image, portraying innovation as a domain of cutting-edge research, venture capital, and a relentless pursuit of the next big thing, often far removed from the everyday concerns of ordinary people, especially those in remote, rural settings. This historical backdrop sets the stage for the profound contrast inherent in our narrative. On one side, we have the archetype of the modern visionary, Elon Musk, a figure synonymous with pushing the boundaries of what is technologically possible. From electric vehicles and reusable rockets to neural interfaces, his world is one of high-stakes engineering, global ambition, and a relentless focus on a futuristic ideal. On the other, we find Clay Cooper, a rancher embodying a life deeply rooted in the land, a custodian of generations of tradition, whose daily existence is a testament to resilience, self-reliance, and a profound connection to nature. His world is one of cyclical seasons demanding physical labor and a quiet solitude that has become increasingly rare in the contemporary landscape. The very idea of these two figures interacting, let alone forming a meaningful connection, seems almost a conceptual impossibility, a clash of eras and ideologies. Yet, it is precisely this perceived impossibility that makes their stories so compelling and so relevant to our understanding of modern societal dynamics. The historical trajectory of technological advancement has often been characterized by a certain kind of disruption, where new inventions render old methods obsolete and entire industries are transformed or even vanish. This has fostered a sense of unease, especially in communities that rely on traditional skills or resource-based economies. The narrative of progress, while often celebrated, also carries an undercurrent of fear, the fear of being left behind, of one's skills becoming irrelevant, or of a way of life simply fading away under the relentless march of automation and globalized markets. This societal anxiety is a crucial element in understanding the initial skepticism and surprise that often accompany the unexpected arrival of cutting-edge technology in traditional settings. It's not just about the unfamiliarity of the gadget itself, but the deeper implications for identity, livelihood, and community. The story of Clay and Elon, therefore, isn't just a quirky anecdote. It's a microcosm of a much larger societal dialogue about progress, preservation, and the human cost of change, framed against the backdrop of a historical divide between the industrial and the pastoral, the innovative and the traditional. The core of this narrative pivots on the unexpected bridge built between these two seemingly disparate worlds. At its heart lies the Tesla Model Y, a vehicle that transcends its function as mere transportation to become a powerful symbol. It represents the pinnacle of modern electric vehicle technology, a product of immense research, development, and a vision for a sustainable future. For Elon Musk, the car is a tangible manifestation of his relentless pursuit of a world powered by clean energy, a world where human ingenuity overcomes environmental challenges. It embodies a philosophy of disruption, of reimagining what's possible, and of pushing humanity forward into a new era of energy independence. But in the hands of a rancher like Clay, miles from the nearest charging station and immersed in a life that values horsepower of a different kind, this vehicle takes on an entirely new meaning, becoming a conduit for something far more profound than just efficient travel. For Clay Cooper, the Tesla is not just a car. It is an alien artifact, a sleek, silent enigma that stands in stark contrast to his rustic existence. His previous mode of transport, an old pickup truck, was a tool, a workhorse. That blended seamlessly into the landscape of his ranch. The Tesla, by its very presence, challenges his understanding of utility, luxury, and the very concept of personal transportation. It forces him to confront the tangible reality of a future he had only ever glimpsed on distant screens. But the true significance of this gift extends beyond its technological marvel. It is an act of recognition, a signal from a world that Clay likely felt had long forgotten places like his ranch and people like him. This gesture transforms the car from a mere object into a symbol of connection, a bridge across an immense cultural and economic divide, and a tangible demonstration that even the most isolated lives can be seen and valued by those at the forefront of global innovation. The main concept here is the unexpected power of a symbolic gift to disrupt deeply ingrained perceptions and foster profound human connection. It's about how an object, imbued with the intent of the giver, can transcend its material form to convey a message of empathy and inclusion. The Tesla, in this context, becomes a vessel for a vision, a means by which Elon Musk extends his philosophy of progress, not just to the masses, but to an individual who represents a contrasting way of life. This act highlights the idea that true innovation isn't always about creating something entirely new, but sometimes about applying existing advancements in ways that foster unexpected bridges and redefine relationships. It's a testament to the belief that technology, when wielded with intention and kindness, can serve as a catalyst for personal transformation, rather than merely a tool for economic or societal advancement. The car, in essence, becomes a conversation starter, a physical manifestation of a dialogue between two worlds that otherwise might never have met, enabling a deeper understanding of each other's realities and aspirations. This narrative, therefore, dives into the fascinating interplay between cutting-edge technology, human kindness, and the re-evaluation of personal identity. The Tesla, a beacon of modernity, forces Clay to confront not just the future of transportation, but the future of his own life. It prompts an existential realization. Could this unexpected gift truly transform his isolated existence? Could it bridge the gap between the world he knows and the world Elon Musk envisions? The surprise is not just in receiving the car, but in the profound emotional resonance it carries, a recognition that someone so far removed from his world took the time to see him, to understand his struggles, and to offer something meaningful. This is where the core concept truly shines, the unexpected power of being seen and valued, particularly by someone who seemingly exists in an entirely different sphere of influence. It underscores that technological marvels, when paired with genuine human connection, can unlock new possibilities and redefine what it means to be part of a larger, interconnected world. The implications of this extraordinary encounter stretch far beyond the isolated ranch in Montana. They resonate with broader societal questions about the nature of progress, community, and the human spirit. In a world increasingly defined by digital divides and economic disparities, the story of Clay and Elon offers a powerful counter-narrative, suggesting that technology, often perceived as a dehumanizing force, can also serve as a profound bridge. It challenges the conventional wisdom that innovation only benefits the already privileged, or that traditional ways of life are inherently incompatible with modern advancements. Instead, it posits that the future can be inclusive, that progress can be empathetic, and that even the most advanced tools can be wielded to foster connection rather than isolation. This unexpected act of kindness highlights the surprising effects of recognizing individual value in a globalized world, where individuals in remote settings can often feel invisible. This narrative holds surprising relevance for anyone who has ever felt disconnected from the rapid pace of modern life, or who has wondered about the true purpose of technological advancement. It suggests that the real value of innovation might not lie solely in its efficiency or economic impact, but in its capacity to enhance human experience, bridge social gaps, and foster a sense of belonging across diverse communities. The Model Y, delivered to Clay's remote ranch, becomes a symbol of this potential, a tangible representation of how the future can arrive not to erase the past, but to offer new pathways for its continuation and evolution. It speaks to the hidden truths about human nature, our innate desire for connection, for recognition, and for the possibility of a life that balances tradition with progress. This real-world relevance extends to discussions about sustainable living, rural development, and the ethical responsibilities of technological giants, demonstrating that even seemingly small gestures can have far-reaching implications for how we envision and build our shared future. Furthermore, the story prompts a re-evaluation of what constitutes true wealth and success. Is it solely about accumulating capital and creating revolutionary products? Or does it also encompass the capacity to touch individual lives in meaningful ways, to foster hope, and to demonstrate empathy on a scale that transcends mere philanthropy? The broader implications extend to the very fabric of our social contract, challenging us to consider how we can ensure that the benefits of progress are distributed more equitably, and that no community, no individual is left feeling entirely disconnected from the promise of a better tomorrow. It underscores the profound impact of feeling seen and valued, suggesting that this human need is as fundamental as any material comfort. The encounter between the rancher and the CEO becomes a powerful metaphor for the ongoing dialogue between global ambition and local realities, reminding us that the most significant advancements are often those that bring people closer together, fostering understanding and shared purpose, even across vast cultural and economic divides. Amidst the captivating narrative of Clay and Elon, it's crucial to address common misconceptions and potential controversies that might arise from such an extraordinary event. One immediate misconception could be that this act was merely a publicity stunt, a calculated move by a high-profile figure to enhance his brand image or generate positive media attention. While the gesture certainly garnered attention, reducing it solely to a marketing ploy would overlook the deeper human element at play. It would dismiss the genuine intent behind an act of kindness and the profound impact it had on an individual's life. The story, as presented, emphasizes a connection forged through shared values, a respect for dedication, resilience, and the preservation of a unique way of life rather than a transactional exchange for public relations benefit. To view it purely through a cynical lens would be to miss the broader message about empathy and unexpected generosity. Another common misconception might be that such a gift, a high-tech electric vehicle, is inherently impractical or even detrimental to a traditional rural lifestyle. Skeptics might argue that a Tesla has no place on a ranch, requiring infrastructure that doesn't exist in remote areas, or that it represents an unwelcome intrusion of modernity into a world that values simplicity and self-sufficiency. This perspective often stems from a limited understanding of how technology can adapt and integrate into diverse environments, or from a rigid adherence to the idea that tradition and innovation are mutually exclusive. However, the narrative challenges this by presenting the car not just as a mode of transport, but as a symbol of possibility, a bridge to new ways of thinking, and a tool that could, surprisingly, enhance aspects of rural life, from reducing fuel dependency to offering new forms of connectivity. It forces a re-evaluation of what practical truly means in a rapidly evolving world. Furthermore, there might be a controversy surrounding the perceived handout aspect of the gift. Some might argue that such an act disempowers the recipient or creates an unhealthy dependency. This perspective often arises from a meritocratic worldview where all success must be earned through conventional means. However, the story emphasizes that Clay's reaction was not one of passive acceptance, but of profound emotional engagement and a subsequent re-evaluation of his own life and possibilities. The gift was not just a material object, but a catalyst for introspection and a renewed sense of purpose. It was an act of recognition that transcended charity, becoming an affirmation of Clay's inherent worth and dedication. This challenges the notion that all forms of assistance are inherently disempowering, suggesting instead that certain acts of kindness can be deeply empowering, opening doors that might otherwise remain shut, and fostering a sense of being valued and connected. Finally, a broader debate could revolve around the responsibility of technological leaders and corporations in addressing societal isolation and disparity. Is it enough for individual acts of kindness to occur, or do these stories highlight a systemic need for technology to be deployed more intentionally to bridge gaps and support underserved communities? While a single act cannot solve global issues, the narrative provides a compelling case study that sparks this important conversation. It offers clarity by demonstrating that even within the vast complexities of modern society, individual gestures of empathy can have disproportionate impact, inspiring further dialogue and action. It contrasts the often impersonal nature of large-scale technological advancement with the deeply personal and transformative power of human connection, reminding us that the human element remains paramount in the pursuit of a more equitable and connected future, challenging the myth that technology is inherently cold or detached from human needs. As we bring this journey to a close, the story of Clay Cooper and Elon Musk leaves us with a profound and lingering reflection. What truly defines progress in our modern world? Is it solely the relentless march of technological advancement, the creation of faster machines and more complex algorithms? Or does it also encompass the capacity for empathy, for bridging divides, and for fostering genuine human connection across seemingly insurmountable barriers? The unexpected arrival of a Tesla Model Y on a remote Montana ranch was far more than a simple exchange of goods. It was a potent symbol, a catalyst for transformation, and a testament to the enduring power of being genuinely seen. It shattered preconceived notions not just for Clay, but for anyone who hears his story, about where innovation belongs and who benefits from its reach. This narrative urges us to reconsider the value we place on different forms of existence. In a society that often glorifies speed, efficiency, and global reach, it reminds us of the quiet resilience found in traditional ways of life, the profound wisdom embedded in a deep connection to the land, and the dignity inherent in a life lived with integrity, even in isolation. The encounter between the rancher and the tech visionary wasn't about one world dominating another, but about an unexpected symbiosis, a recognition that even the most disparate realities can find common ground through shared humanity and a mutual Respect for dedication. It demonstrates that the future doesn't always arrive to erase the past, but can, surprisingly, offer new pathways for its continuation and evolution, providing tools that enhance rather than diminish existing values. Ultimately, the tale of Clay and Elon challenges us to cultivate our own sense of curiosity and to look beyond the surface of things. It encourages us to question our assumptions about who is connected and who is isolated, and to seek out opportunities to bridge those perceived gaps in our own lives, however small. It reinforces the idea that an act of kindness, however unexpected, can ripple outwards, transforming not just an individual's perception of their own life, but also their place within the broader tapestry of human experience. This story is a powerful reminder that true progress is not just about what we build, but about how we connect, how we see each other, and how we choose to invest in the human spirit. So as you go about your day, consider the unseen connections that exist all around you, the surprising intersections waiting to unfold. How might a simple act of recognition, a moment of unexpected generosity, or a willingness to bridge a perceived divide transform your own reality or the reality of someone you encounter? The story of Clay Cooper and Elon Musk is a testament to the enduring value of curiosity, the boundless potential of human connection, and the profound, life-altering impact of feeling truly seen. It leaves us with a lingering thought. What unexpected bridges might we build, and what new possibilities might we unlock if we approach the world with a greater sense of empathy and a deeper understanding of our shared humanity? The journey of learning, after all, is often about discovering the extraordinary in the most unexpected places. Beyond the initial awe and the profound emotional resonance of the unexpected gift, the real story of Clay Cooper and his Tesla began to unfold. In the quiet, methodical rhythm of his daily life, the sleek vehicle, once an almost mythical object from a distant future, gradually transitioned from an emblem of grand gestures to an integrated component of his ranching existence. This assimilation was neither instantaneous nor without its unique challenges, yet it marked a subtle but significant shift in Clay's relationship with the vast expanse around him and his connection to the broader world. Consider, for instance, the practicalities of charging such a vehicle in an area where electrical grids might be sparse. This necessity could, in turn, spur innovations at the local level, perhaps prompting the adoption of solar panels on his barn or a wind turbine to generate the necessary power, thereby aligning cutting-edge automotive technology with a deeply rooted commitment to self-sufficiency and sustainable living, a curious, almost poetic fusion. The presence of the electric vehicle introduced an entirely new dimension to Clay's routines. Where his old pickup truck had dictated trips based on fuel stops and mechanical upkeep, the Tesla offered a silent, smooth journey, transforming mundane errands into experiences of quiet contemplation. Imagine Clay driving to the nearest town, not with the familiar rumble of an internal combustion engine, but with the near-silent hum of electric motors, observing the familiar landscape through a new lens, perhaps even noticing details he had previously overlooked due to the distractions of a louder, more demanding machine. This shift in the sensory experience of travel itself could subtly alter his perception of distance, time, and even his own place within the sprawling Montana wilderness. Consequently, the world around him, once defined by its raw, untamed nature, began to reveal new layers of accessibility and interconnectedness without diminishing its inherent grandeur. Furthermore, the arrival of the Tesla sparked conversations and curiosities within Clay's sparse community that extended far beyond the simple ownership of a luxury car. Neighbors, initially bewildered, might have stopped by, their weathered faces etched with a mixture of skepticism and fascination. These interactions, initially about the car itself, could quickly pivot to broader discussions about the changing world, the future of energy, and the very concept of progress. Perhaps a younger ranch hand, intrigued by the technology, might inquire about its features, leading to an unexpected dialogue between generations and different philosophies of life. This vehicle, therefore, became a powerful social lubricant, a focal point around which discussions about innovation, sustainability, and the future of rural life could coalesce, drawing people together in ways that a new tractor or a renovated barn never could. Another crucial layer to this evolving narrative is the psychological reorientation Clay experienced. Beyond the initial emotional impact of the gift, the daily interaction with such advanced technology could subtly recalibrate his internal compass. He might find himself thinking differently about problems on the ranch, perhaps seeking technologically informed solutions for issues traditionally tackled with brute force or conventional methods. The seamless connectivity offered by the car's systems, access to real-time weather data, advanced navigation, or even communication tools could gradually reduce the subjective feeling of isolation, not by eliminating his remoteness, but by providing new conduits to information and assistance. This isn't about escaping his life, but about enriching it, expanding its boundaries without compromising its essence. The vast distances that once felt like insurmountable barriers might now appear as stretches of land to be traversed with newfound ease and confidence, opening up possibilities for engagement with wider networks of suppliers, markets, or even distant family members. Conversely, the story also highlights how the very act of bringing cutting-edge technology to a traditional setting can reveal unexpected synergies and underscore the enduring value of foundational skills. Clay, despite owning a high-tech marvel, still relies on his deep understanding of the land, animal husbandry, and the unforgiving elements.